Well, hopefully, as a result of Comcast merging.
You don't even need to go down that road. All they're gonna do is give me a data cap. They're not gonna make my internet better.
Do you guys prefer butter or mergering?
Mergering.
You prefer mergering?
Butter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had margarine.
I like margarine because it's spreadable, and people who are devout fans of butter don't acknowledge a proper thing with butter, which is that it does destroy your toast, right? It causes some issues.
Oh, yeah, it rips the shit out of it. You're right.
You telling me that margarine is just spreadable butter?
No, it's made of like vegetable oils.
Oh, that's better.
It's just similar to butter, but
Well, what about spreadable butter?
yeah, well, if you get
That
spreadable,
doesn't destroy toast.
I mean, are you talking to me about things like I can't believe it's not butter?
Yeah, no,
That's
but
margarine, you motherfucker.
No, like parquet, or I don't fucking know.
I'm pretty sure that's margarine too. But in any case, here's the problem I always have as we get our shit rocked. But I try to tell people that you can just keep the butter outside of the fridge and that'll be fine, and then you can spread it on your toast. And then they're like, "Oh, that's gross." I would rather have it in like marble chunks that just rip the shit out of the bread, and and then when you bite into it, you're not even biting into like a spread. It's like a little like fat cream on top of the bread, and it's
Well, you're supposed to put like the butter in the container, right? You got a container.
Yeah,
and
and
leave
then
it out?
you put it in a container and then you leave it out, and that's okay. But people act like that's fucking that's sacrilege or something.
No, it's not.
I really like the way you emphasize that word, sacrilege.
It maybe was not the proper way.
No, I like it though.
That's okay. Josh, you're freaking dead, man.
Yeah,
Am I the only
died.
person left on the team? Seems that way, doesn't it? This doesn't strike me as being very good for business right now. Here he comes. All right, Emerson. Good. No, I kind of got baited as hell. Goodbye, cruel world.
Oh wow, Yeah,
well, I got 4 times more kills than the rest of our team put together, so.
Because no one wanted to go to Helm's Deep Bridge with me.
I mean, they just pretty much shot you. But what I will say, as we've already started an argument in chat, here's the way I rank it, okay? If we're only talking about these 3, let's ignore jam, let's ignore peanut butters and other nut butters. I don't want to hear any jokes about nut butter.
Too late.
And we're not going to talk about marmalade or Vegemite or cream cheese.
What about Lady Marmalade?
We'll probably talk about Lady Marmalade later, as we try to figure out who the 4th person in the song actually is. But if I had to rank them, I would say the worst.
Avity, up, down, and all around. Welcome to J. Smith Town.
The worst is cold butter that doesn't spread.
Excuse me?
Second worst, by the way, thank you, Nexus, for that subscription. Second worst, or I guess second best as well, because we've only got 3 here, would be margarine. Margarine's totally spreadable. Margarine, by all means, come to town, man. That was very fast. You do have to select a class as soon as possible to actually spawn into the game.
Well, it's bullshit that you have to like press escape to select a class after
you don't. There's a button in the bottom right.
Oh, that's stupid.
And then the best is spreadable butter. Better does have the best flavor. All right, you know what? I've piqued my own interest here. What is the best bread topping? We're excluding sandwiches.
Cheese.
So just
like open face sandwiches then is what you're talking about.
No, those also do not count. So
like garlic bread is the ultimate.
That is what a bread topping is an
sure,
open face
you know what?
sandwich.
I would accept garlic bread, I guess. Sort of. I was
thinking more like talking about single condiments.
I was thinking more like spreads, yeah, as opposed to meals, if that makes sense.
What do you mean? It's just like cheese and like garlic stuff.
I really wish that from time we just beat the shit out of them there. Also, yes, spread Durst, you're right. But I really wish that every time I bring up a question like that, I could get a straight answer instead of a fucking technicality.
What?
Every time it's like, hey, what's the best thing to put on bread? Oh, well, does a Boeing 747 count? And you're like, what the fuck? Normal people don't have conversations like this. They just say, oh, Nutella or something like that.
We gotta know what kind of rules we're playing within.
I don't know, like, cause I like a variety.
Sure, okay.
So like, if I'm gonna have like a spread or something.
Yeah.
I like sometimes if I have like more than one piece of bread or like one piece of toast, I'll have like one piece with like butter and then Nutella and then peanut butter, or I like
so fucking
high
maintenance.
Just
Shut
a
the
little
hell up.
sampling kit.
Are you kidding me?
It all tastes good to me. No, don't give me that bullshit with the technicalities and Boeings and shit when Josh just wants to fucking have his garlic bread.
Garlic bread is it's an appetizer or a side with many ingredients.
With all two, butter and cheese.
What are you talking about? The freaking not just butter and cheese, Josh. Where's the freaking garlic?
Who cares about that?
Yeah, who cares about that?
Chad's right. Okay, let's talk about breakfast spreads. You got to choose one. Don't tell me I like many things. I know you like many things.
You only choose
if
one.
you only had one bottle of something in your fridge for breakfast to spread on your toast, what would it be?
Whiskey.
No, to spread. That's why I added this to spread on your toast
Did you
thing.
say whiskey?
Because I have to freaking anticipate all fucking troll answers and try to nip them in the bud.
You said whiskey?
On bread, maybe it was probably a peanut butter, I guess.
Oh, okay, there we go. Peanut butter. Thank you. Acceptable. I also like peanut butter.
I like cinnamon with butter. I think that's good.
I will accept that because I've seen that sold in a single tub at the grocery store. I did 69 damage to this man.
A single
Emerson,
tub
get
cinnamon
outta
butter?
Lame,
A
dude.
single tub of cinnamon butter, yes.
Never heard of that.
Are you kidding me? Then why? I don't get it. I don't get you, and I don't get this man in the red coat. And
This guy came up and like poked me in the back, and I died.
I put the butter on it, and then I put some cinnamon on it, and that's
I-
the end of the story. There's no...
Did you miss the part about
Yeah,
you can only have
there's
one jar?
Yeah, there's one thing. Nick.
No, I did miss that part.
No, there's
Also, I
not,
didn't really
there's
care.
not,
anyway.
no, there's no room for two things. You either have the butter or the cinnamon.
You can actually buy a tub of cinnamon spread.
So
We
it's
can buy a tub.
acceptable.
Yeah,
You
I
buy
think it's
a tub
acceptable.
of
I just don't know why you were indignant when I said that it was acceptable. It's like you wanted to fuck with me, and then I was like, "That's cool."
Yeah, it's kind of one.
And then you were like, "Okay, well, never mind then."
Let's make a problem anyway.
Oh, we'll make a problem. I really hate this man with the red coat.
The red
Yeah,
coat.
red coat?
I mean, no. Well, yeah, technically, I guess he is. Sort of.
Is it albatross? No, albatross. Oh, yeah, he just bashed my brains in.
He's the albatross of rhyme.
Nah.
Apparently, no.
Day, man. Whoa.
I can't believe they let Emerson scum me with the rocket launcher of the medieval era. Is that supposed to be funny?
Wentworth says Wegmans sells a single product called garlic bread spread, which contains garlic, Parmesan cheese, and other spices.
You know what? I'll
That
accept
counts?
that. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep, I will accept that. But you can't have like you can't be like, oh, I have the best garlic bread in the world. That'll be my choice, and then lump it under that technicality for the rest of
The
rest of
best
your
garlic-
life. You only get to have that tub. That's the thing. You don't get to say that garlic bread's okay because of that tub, and then all garlic breads are suddenly okay.
Go to Saxons.
All right. I don't know if I did. No, I'm on the Vikings, so
Alright.
fuck you, basically.
Yo,
Shit.
Austin and Cobalt, do you keep your butter in the fridge or in a dish out on the counter?
I don't
In the
have
fridge.
butter.
In the fucking fridge?
In the
Yeah.
fridge.
How do
I
you
have
spread
sticks
it?
of butter.
How do you spread it?
It's margarine, so it spreads.
Oh,
anyway.
that doesn't count then. Margarine is kept in the fridge.
Then I win.
You don't win.
That's
You
my
just-
butter substitute.
What in the world is the world's easiest drawing? No,
It's a contact lid.
the correct answer is you put some in the fridge and then a little bit out on the counter so that it's spreadable for when
Yeah,
you
that's what
put it
my
on
parents
toast.
did.
Yeah,
You
man.
put some
Yeah,
in the
for
freezer
later,
and
like-
some in the fridge.
You don't put butter in the freezer. That's ridiculous.
Freezer now. That's a little out
The
there.
problem is when you try to spread it, it's going to destroy your bread. Okay,
You're a bread destroyer.
that was a great drawing. I'm not a bread
Drawings are
destroyer.
Someone should tell this guy his hat's off center.
Put margarine in the microwave.
That's so needlessly complicated. It's not. There's only other way. There's the only other way to do it is you put it in the
What's
fridge,
happening?
and then when you spread it, it doesn't spread, and you tear the bread.
scared to
At
microwave
that
butter.
point- well, you can microwave it, but that's way more complicated than just leaving a little bit out on the counter.
It makes really
Oh.
like scary boiling sound. Oh, dude, I forgot that I put this. My girlfriend had cooked some steaks on a pan, like in the broiler,
Oh, nice.
and she didn't take the pan out
That's bad.
when I was cooking a pizza.
Oh,
And we're like, "What's that smoky smell?" And I open it up, and the pan's like on fire, but in the inside. So
What?
I ran to the sink, and I started dousing it with water.
Oh, can't do that. You
Did
got to
not-
use mayonnaise.
Grease fucking lightning, sir! Just whoosh! It was so scary.
Grease fires, sand.
Mayonnaise.
go grease lighting.
Am I right?
Mayonnaise.
I thought you put baking soda on it.
Maybe.
There's Benihanas in Australia. Sick, dude. You should go. They make onion volcanoes.
English.
Teppanyaki, more like teppanyaki.
Gnocchi. That's all I have to say about
Tell me when you want the number.
I am ready.
that. I'm not ready.
Okay, I will hold off. Then.
Private
he's ready.
room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I need the code first. That's what I'm typing in?
Mm-hmm. You got the code, and I will give you the number now.
Roger.
All right. You know what? Not a special number, really.
I mean, there's only one good number. Let's face it.
Someone in your chat said that it's because it's far cheaper, but that's just not true in New York. There's dollar pizza slices all over the place.
You got to know to look for them, though.
Yeah, but like they're not
I
uncommon. in the
don't
city.
want to say that I saw the Louis C.K. thing coming, but I do think if you
That's
go...
the punchline already.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you saw it coming, he would have asked you to see it coming.
But I think if you go back like 3 years, we talked about the intro to Louis, and I said, I don't think you can trust the dude who throws out half a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
who on earth has ever been like, I don't want the rest of this one slice?
Yeah. Like, the one slice is never enough.
Exactly. I'm a 2-slice boy.
I am
Minimum.
also
At
a
least.
two-slice.
At
I'm like a
fucking least.
4-slice boy.
Yeah.
It
like,
depends on, like, you know, if you... Like, those New Yorkers, they're big, right? They're like...
Yeah, but
no.
still. I could...
I know you got the overlay. Give me a moment here. Give me a moment.
What is happening here?
Is he making a jerk off? Is he jerking off?
I think he's got an arm cannon.
It's Mega Man.
He's going to fire his arm cannon.
As a European, I don't understand... Oh, great. What?
Oh, he's doing tallies on his arm. I think he's keeping track of it.
Yeah, there you go.
As a European, I don't understand the pizza discussion. In North America, if we got one slice of pizza, we would never throw half it out.
Half it out.
That's actually like close to being a thought crime.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna take another shot right now.
Yeah.
Eat your fucking crust.
Yeah, dude.
Dip him in something. It changes the world.
Yeah, if you want to dip it, you do whatever. But
You're at-
eat,
oh, I
eat your
thought it was-
crust.
You're
Laceration.
already eating
I
crust in every bite. When you
If
leave
you-
the crust, it doesn't make sense.
And I'll tell you what, if you're eating a slice of pizza and the reason you don't eat the crust is because the crust doesn't taste good, guess what? You're not eating good pizza.
So Kate doesn't eat the crust. I hope
Oh
she's
my
not
God.
watching.
Are you
oh
s-
my
Are you
Jesus
still married to
Christ.
this person?
Dude, you guys are stupid because now I get extra crust.
Yeah, but like,
What?
I don't want...
I want my own crust.
I get more crust.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, but
all
like-
about the crust, baby.
No, I don't want more crust. I just want my crust.
It
Yeah.
sounds like you're not eating good pizza then.
No, but like, hear me out. Like, I'm not gonna
You're not
eat
all
more
about the
crust
crust.
before I eat another piece of pizza.
Just go order some fucking bread if you're all about the crust.
Oh, see, this is what I mean. This is why you think Domino's is good.
What is
It's
this
because-
word?
It's pizza that comes with bread.
But I'm not gonna like eat a slice of pizza, then eat like 2 pieces of crust.
Why not?
I'm gonna eat because I'd rather get full off of pizza than get full off of crust.
But what if you're... sometimes it happens, I'm like, oh, I had a couple slices, I'm full. But then there's like some extra crusts left over.
Yes, absolutely. That's perfectly fine. If it's like extra and like, I don't think I could do a whole nother slice, eat a crust. That's fine. But if you eat 2 crust, fuck that shit. Eat another slice of pizza.
Sometimes, though, the edges get a little burned, like on
That's
just
the
on the
best.
crust.
Best.
Yeah.
No, that's not the best. It ruins the flavor for me.
Unless you're talking about burned, where it's black.
It's
Wait.
a little bit scorched, and you can taste it.
Austin,
in
what are you
the bite.
doing up
Do you-
here?
It's a fucking Spanish word that I don't even know. I can't.
Is it sapienza?
I have been there in virtual reality form.
The artist has canceled his turn.
Chirlazo.
Chirlazo!
Do you know what chirlazo is?
Here it is. I'll type it at Chirlazo.
Oh yeah, that's Spanish sausage.
I think it's like a really spectacular churl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chat's right, though.
What?
The
What's a
crust
churl?
is the pizza. That's why everything else is called toppings.
Yep. Very much the case.
Austin, I'm going to ask you a question with no judgment.
Okay.
Do you have
Half
the
the
time?
time.
Do you consume... Great drawing. Do you consume the crust on your pizza?
I used to not, but I do now.
Do you eat the crust on a sandwich?
Depends on the sandwich.
What kind of sandwich would you not eat the crust on?
No, I used to not, but I do now.
You guys did so good.
What is that on the right side?
That's blocks.
Oh,
Blocks, like in Mario.
it's just kind of they're just kind of all over the place.
Oh,
As
yeah,
a child, I did not
You
eat.
still got it.
I did not eat pizza crust or bread crust. Then I did. I had an epiphany as a young adult that was like, I'm already eating it every bite.
I get mad when people are like, "Oh, crust is the best part." Then why isn't the whole thing fucking crust when it comes to sandwiches?
Because you can't make a loaf of bread that's all crust. Because the crust is the part that's exposed to the air in the oven.
Well, unless it's ciabatta.
Yeah, but even the inside of the bread is not crust.
Wait.
That's a good point.
And like when you're having like a sub,
Ciabatta? Isn't it just
the crust is
ciabatta?
like barely like it's just a whole different kind of thing. I'm talking about just like plain
What,
white
so
bread.
what are you thinking? They should just bake flour and then assemble it into a fully crusted
What?
loaf? I don't
wanna
know.
white bread
I'm just
pizza.
saying that like when you have like a white bread sandwich, that crust kind of sucks.
Yeah,
you know
I-
what?
It's
I
almost
agree
not
with
even
you.
there.
I'll eat it, but I don't like it. It's just like I'd rather it not be there.
It doesn't register on the scale of like or not like. It's just part of the bread. It's just part of it.
I'll just be honest. I don't really like sliced white bread. It's not. It's
Probably
like
because-
it's a means to an end. It's a way to get deli meat into my mouth if I have to have white bread.
Why is he putting it into like a portal in his own? Oh, what the actual fuck?
What
Oh,
happened to
he's-
this man?
He's been beaten.
Has he been falling down the stairs?
Is he
I think
just
Is he
so.
hitting
old?
himself with that microphone?
No, that's.
Oh, that's a dildo.
Oh, I was really hoping it was gonna be Rush. Okay.
What's your guys' favorite kind of bread?
I don't know, just like a normal like
Sub.
sub bread. Yeah, that like
No.
Like
I
an
guess.
Italian bread?
It's not the color of his skin. He has scars on his face, okay?
Why?
This thank you. Thank you for that
That's-
vindication.
What is
Josh.
that object?
That's a bat. Because this is the
I don't understand why
man.
the bat's there.
This is the man who sings this song.
Kiss my rose on the grave. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh. Well, that's stupid. I got 1 second left. Why don't you tell me that in 1 second?
I drew Seal.
You did not draw Seal.
He's
draw
the
Seal.
most renowned singer with facial scarring.
you.
Doesn't look like Seal.
You fucked that guy up.
you did.
Have you seen a picture of Seal?
Yeah, quite a few of them.
I'm
Him
not.
and Ryan's like, I'm gonna draw a person who this word matches, and then he's like, oh wait, I can't draw people.
You got to come up with another way. Then you got to play your strengths.
It worked for me. I'm in first place.
I like baguettes.
I also
That's
like
cool, Rob.
baguettes.
Yeah, baguettes are delicious.
I like what?
What?
Get whooped, dude.
Fucking.
I like
Oh, okay.
slicing a baguette and then using a spread such as an aioli or a
Ah,
tapenade.
yes. Yeah. That is I thought that was a decapitated person.
What?
I can totally see it.
It looks like a decapitated squid, not a person.
Before he added those other lines, it looked like those were collarbones. That's what that looked like.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Tiger. What's tiger bread?
Tiger.
Tiger blood.
Tiger bread.
I really also enjoy extremely like
Beach volleyball.
dead or alive extreme beach volleyball. I just thought you guys would want to know what I jerk off to. I really like garlic bread.
That's like I breathe air.
I don't like garlic bread that has chunks of garlic in it. That's too much.
Oh, you kidding? That's the best.
No, it's too much garlic, man.
Garlic's good for you, though.
Garlic bread is not, though.
So dumb.
No, that's pure garlic, I mean.
No apology
You can
necessary.
invite now.
I'll consider forgiving you someday.
Dude, you know, like, you're really right that you can't win. Because, like, I had to buy some barbecue sauce yesterday, but I was in a bougie grocery store that only sells local products.
Yeah.
So how much would you expect to pay for, like, a standard size barbecue sauce?
Like $3 maybe.
$4.99 tops.
I think those are both very fair bounds. This barbecue sauce was $9.99.
Get out of here. Don't buy that.
No, I'm not
And it only came in a jar.
That's
So
What
if
is
everyone
wrong
eats
with
barbecue
this?
sauce, you gotta get a utensil dirty.
That's just insane. Why?
It's too much. What are you even gonna use the You just make barbecue sauce at that.
No, but I'm not gonna.
point.
No, the opportunity cost
Make
makes
sauce.
it worth it.
You could just
Well,
raise
it
your
doesn't
own
make it
barbecue
$10.
pants
Hey, chat,
and-
make sauce.
Dude, for $10, I'd rather make my own barbecue sauce than get a $10 jar where I have to keep, getting a butter knife out for.
I mean, I'm so okay with Canadian to U.S. conversion. It is probably like $8, but still, it's way expensive for a barbecue sauce.
Is it very good barbecue sauce?
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, see, that's
It's not
like
gonna
I would-
cut it. It's gotta be really
That's-
good.
I would say it's better than like I don't know it's better than like A1 steak sauce, but
yeah, that's
it's not really a barbecue sauce. But you know what I mean.
Speaking of making things yourself, I watch a lot of Binging with Babish, and his thing is he always like makes everything from scratch. And like every time he makes something complicated from scratch, like a dough, he's just like, "Yeah, don't
female
do this.
deer?
It's just a waste of time."
Thank you. I very much appreciate that line of reasoning.
I agree with that sentiment actually. Like with anything dough related I hate working with dough at all times.
What about batter?
It's like every
batter
kind
too.
of dough has a different set of like incredibly important timing and ingredient rules that are like add half of the water, at 5 seconds later add 1/8 of the next water, ice water, and then don't mix, fold. It's like no.
That's why
No,
being a
I
baker is a
can't.
whole different thing from being a chef. It's like a lot harder
It
sometimes.
really is. Like
What about being
I
a candlestick maker though?
Yeah.
Good one.
like baking is like a science formula that you have to follow, whereas like if you're just like cooking something on the stovetop, you can just kind of like fuck around, see what happens. You know what I
My
mean?
dad, he bakes a lot of bread and like pizza dough, and they make their own pasta and stuff like that. They're older. They have time. They're good. We're all still climbing the mountain, Like I don't have time for that kind of stuff. Like whenever I go there, it's nice because I get to spend time with them. But he'll be like, "Hey, we're gonna make some pizza dough together, so we can have pizza tomorrow." And he's like, "Look at how easy it is." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's really easy as long as you're gonna be staying in your apartment for the next 7 hours to do the 3-second steps that have to happen at each of these critical intervals."
Yeah.
It is easy. It's never like there's a time where he's like, "Okay, and now like do a triple integral in your head." Like it's literally just like put this.
I
on
would eat
this.
that pizza though. That would be cool. Math
That
pizza.
sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
It'd look like a fractal or something.
hmm Yeah, well, because that's the other thing with dough is like it's not even just the annoying process of kneading the dough and like mixing all the things together and getting wet flour on your hands, which is just gross. But then you also have to let it sit for an hour. Like, no, I want to cook it now. I want this bread.
Well, it's
It's
not
my
gonna be
bread
good
and
now.
I need it now.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, people are like, you're trying to bread splain to me right now. You're explaining like it's really easy to make your own bread. You're like making it sound harder. I've made my own bread many times.
As have I.
The bread that you
I have
make
not.
is so much better than the bread that you buy, but
Yeah.
the opportunity cost makes it untenable for me. I would rather eat worse bread than make my own bread. If it gives me like a little bit more free time, I'm absolutely okay with that value proposition.
I've made bread in a
Somebody in
bread
chat said
maker.
I went to culinary school, and well, I mean, the bread maker's a whole different. That's like you're still making your own bread at that
Yeah,
point.
it was like as much work as the bread itself, wasn't it? It smelled
it's
really nice, though. I will say
It
that.
does make your place smell nice.
Mhm.
Look, someone in chat was like, I went to culinary school, and it's very easy to make your own bread. Yo,
Fuck off! You went to culinary school.
You went to culinary school. First off, you shouldn't want us to make our own bread because it challenges your industry.
No, they're
If I'm
spreading
making
their
my own
passion.
bread, I'm not going out to East Side Mario's and getting your bread. And then secondly, you went to school for it. A special school just for that.
Speaking of which, it's really hard to start streaming. No one should try it. Just give up now.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult to
I
stream.
have a PhD in artificial intelligence. Machine learning is actually really simple.
Look,
I'm not
somebody
up to
like that
date with the
video.
bits right now, so I don't know.
It's
I
not.
didn't
It's
watch
not.
it, but
It's not that it's a complex process, but like compared to other cooking tasks, it's time intensive and like it's just kind of annoying, to be honest. Like most of the time, like the most you got to do to cook other dishes is you got to chop some shit, and that's like pretty easy. With the dough, you gotta. It's just the whole process. Too much.
dude, let me give you the alternative because Nick was talking about batter.
Mhm.
Whenever we get a meal from our Blue Apron thing that has a batter or a breading involved, I'm stoked. I'm actually like this. First off, I get to eat a breaded meat, and that's just like one of the great pleasures of life to begin with. And then secondly, I'm like, this isn't that bad. You got breadcrumbs or like cornstarch or flour or something. You got an egg, and you just dip and you roll, and then you put it in the pan. It's easy.
Yeah.
Is that how you start your day? Got an egg.
I would not eat a breaded meat for breakfast. That would.
It's
get away
funny
with
because
it.
he's an egg.
This is a tough one.
Or is it a McGruff one?
I don't know
that?
what that means.
Me either, to be honest with you. I made French toast today.
Yeah.
It was very tasty. It also took 10 minutes, which was very nice.
Is this your clue?
You didn't. No, don't worry about it. You didn't make your own bread like Mouth did when he made that grilled cheese.
I did not
Dude,
know.
How do you make your own bread? What? Do you like?
Bread's actually like really easy to make.
Do you have a bread maker or?
I that one I kneaded by hand, but I'm actually intending to get a stand mixer because there's one on
Dude.
sale. So
Side note, I actually want to get a bread maker, not a stand mixer, even though the stand mixer is far more versatile, but it's also like super expensive.
Yeah.
yeah, well the one I found is like crazy deal. So
I made my own bread maker.
Oh,
How do you
that's
feel about that?
Did you code it in Unity and 3D print it?
Damn.
That's pretty cool.
My dad has some old man hobbies. He's not necessarily even that old. He's in his early 50s, but you know, he has some old man hobbies. What did he throw himself into? Baking bread. He's also he does like some carpentry and like home improvement stuff, but for him, he's like really passionate about baking bread, and I don't get it at all. I go home and he's like, "Do you want to bake bread with me?" And I'm like, "No, I'll hang out, but like I don't want to bake the bread." And he's always like, "Check it out! I bought this new thing to bake bread with," and I'm like, "That's cool. I will never buy one of those." And everybody who bakes, they're always, if they bake their own bread, and yeah, I'm talking about Mouth. So what? They're always telling you how easy it is to bake your own bread. They're always like, oh, it's very simple. It's a 30-minute recipe. Yeah, it's a 30-minute recipe. You got to buy a bunch of special ingredients, and then, you know, you got to be in the house all day in order to make sure the bread turns out. That's not necessarily true. Because like, it's kind of like, you know, there's like no-knead bread that turns out okay, and then there's like, you know, 10-minute knead that turns out okay. But still, you know, first off, I'm trying not to eat so much bread to begin with. I already got the cheese thing going on. Secondarily, when I buy bread right now, it's like 1 minute bread. I go to the grocery store and I go, hey, that bread looks pretty good. And then I pick it up and I buy it. Bread is also like, I don't want to say insanely cheap, but like one of the products at the grocery store where you get the highest amount of value. You're like, oh, $1.50 for 12 slices of bread. That's a pretty good deal. Take it from a guy that just spent 16 bucks on 2 cheeses. So I'm just trying out a bunch of old man hobbies and seeing what's gonna stick. I should learn a handy one, you know. Truth be told, I'm specking way too much into hipster snobdom. I don't need to add cheese snobbery on top of that. Should really focus on, like, you know, learning how to change my oil or something instead. But where's the fun in that? See, the thing is, when you're learning about cheese, you get to eat cheeses, and it's delicious. And if you're learning to change your oil, you're just hanging out with a stinky old car. That doesn't sound like fun. Unless it, you know, it does. In which case, more power to you. You know, everybody's into something different. I have to do it, because if I don't do it now, why would you buy a spear at heart? If I don't do it now, it's like, you know, that's the reason that it's gonna happen. Anyway, let's go back to slogans, dude. I'm trying to think of, you know, it's all coming from television advertisements, you know? Subway, eat fresh. As much as I don't respect the Subway Corporation, you know, at least Subway Canada, I think eat fresh is a great slogan for a company that's it's how you know it's a great slogan. By that slogan and a couple of dudes who lost a substantial amount of weight eating sandwiches, they managed to convince an entire continent, if not the globe, that eating a foot of bread was somehow good for you. And they managed to, if they didn't convince you of that, there's still a lot of people out there like, well, it's not good for you, but it's better than eating a small order of French fries. No, it ain't, okay? Now, trust me, your boy, he's one of the best bread eaters on planet Earth. I love bread. That's why I don't buy it very often. Otherwise, if I bought it, I would eat a lot of it. I'm not trying to villainize bread. I'm not giving you 12 nutritional rules for life, you know? You can figure it out for yourself. Trying not to talk about that stuff that much on the internet, believe it or not, because it invites criticism. Probably, okay, dude, this is a very strange run, because there was absolutely no reason not to take those guys, especially considering we also have the box of friends. No comment. Obviously should have taken them. My bad. But irrespective of my feelings of the Subway Corporation, eat fresh, I'll call it. Good slogan. That's like the 2017 James Mangold film slogan that, you know, brought the X-Men franchise into a more mature adult era that was subsequently ruined by the release of Dark Phoenix. Next question.
Dude, I ate Uncrustable and I regret every second of it.
I just don't understand the appeal of a pre-made crustless peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I mean, it's like,
they're not good.
It was the only thing in the office, so I'm like, man, it's either this or nothing. Nothing would have been the choice.
I'm telling you, the worst part about it, the crust.
You're not. It's like
mushy
paper cardboard. Yeah.
Yeah. They lie. They're not uncrustable. They got crust.
I would much rather eat crustable.
Sawdust.
Crust is the best part.
That's the thing. When I think about the best bread products, they're like high ratio crust to bread.
I think the issue with people saying the crust is the best part is they always say it to like a 6-year-old who doesn't like the crust on white bread, which is like totally reasonable.
Give them good bread.
You have a good piece of bread, yeah, crust. Oh my god, do you see that?
Ooh, not on my watch, dummy.
Did not need to take damage.
I will say this though. If you're serving a dinner roll and it's not banquet style, it's because your meal is not good.
If you're oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, I've had this bone to pick with my grandparents for a long time. Even like dinner rolls are one thing, but my grandparents would serve like a 1,100 calorie meal to a 12-year-old, and then as an appetizer, they'd be like, "Here's an entire loaf of white Wonder Bread." So I just got in the habit of eating like 2 slices of bread with butter with every meal for no reason.
Dude, that was actually a thing in our family too.
Didn't know nothing about nutrition at all.
Well, for us it was like
Stadium used to have an outside on the inside. Do you see the the chairs and tables and stuff?
no, they're gonna make it
concourse.
open up.
Is that
Yo, Team Unity Soccer. They're gotta make a kickable ball.
Rocket League.
Kickable ball.
I think we just hold here, unfortunately, because the circle's duty. Duty circle.
I hate Stadium. I mean, I'm not saying like we should leave. I just want you
Only
to
other
know
thing
I hate it.
It's hard because there's like you don't.
We could. There's
I mean-
some like tents here. There's this building. Sorry, this building. That's about it. Let me see how these
Stadium,
tents are.
There's so many angles they can get you from. Tents suck because you can shoot through them.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other stuff around them too.
Yeah, I feel like in the 90s, like, people thought a healthy meal was like 3 slices of white bread with butter and then like a glass of skim milk. And then...
Skim milk's not bad, though.
No, I mean, I agree, but...
Yeah, no, there's a fair bit of like weird dogma in cooking that is like definitely needs to go, and some people are experimenting on YouTube, which is cool.
It is cool
because then you get to see, you know, like for instance, over kneading bread dough. There's no such thing. You can't do that. It's not really possible. And I only know this because I watched a man who has a cooking channel. He's like a baker channel, and he hand kneaded some bread for like 3 hours as a test, just to prove that, or to see if anything happened, and nothing happened. That you can't over knead. So like maybe if you over knead your bread dough for like 10 straight hours, maybe then you can over knead it. But practically, it's not possible.
Yeah.
You can under knead it though.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Somebody get that man a stand mixer.
Yeah. He was doing it for the sake of the experiment, though. No! What have you done?
Oh, no, dude.
No!
That's all right. We'll get him at home.
Alright, just a quick little triple. It's no big deal. Just don't let me field. Just, like, have you field.
It's okay. I'm used to it. I don't know if the video's gone up yet, but there is a ghastly Mouth fielding episode. Mouth, if you're watching, I apologize. Let me just put it this way. If you're like, I think we've seen it, you have not seen it. You will 100% know what it is when it happens. It is a landmark moment. Let's put it that way.
Probably should have went for the double play there.
It's all right. It happens.
Actually, last time I've tried for that double play when it's there, I missed the one on first. Well, I mean, yeah, you can over knead. Well, you can, like, if you over mix cake batter, then you'll make gluten, then that's bad. But, like, you can't over knead, like, a bread dough. If you're just making a loaf of bread, you don't got to worry about that. You can under knead it, though.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, what is leaven bread? Is that like it was not left to rise?
Yeah, leavening is just the rising. Or like a leavening agent would be something that would facilitate in the rising, like eggs or baking soda or baking powder or yeast.
You ever have lavash?
No, actually, but I have seen it.
It's good.
I want to.
I
actually.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Nice.
look, the traditional breads are really good.
Yeah.
I think a hard bread is underrated.
I'm with you. I like hard bread.
I like a Kanaka broad. I like a lavash.
Have you ever had matzah?
I've not had matzah.
Matzah is very good.
I've had mozzarella.
Mozzarella is also very good. Matzah is great.
Like a matzo ball.
Well, it's not really like matzo balls. I assume that like it probably is like made of the same dough. Maybe that's why they have the same thing. I'm not sure, but matzah itself is more like a big cracker.
So excuse me, Robert. I'm gonna put the game on pause temporarily and go get the door.
Oh, dude, do it. Tough bread might be more accurate. I made last week, chat. I made some focaccia. Actually, dude, I tweeted I tweeted that other bread that I made the other day. That came out really good. It was really nice. It was really pretty. That bread loaf. Is this thing on? I've made it. I wrapped it all up and made it into like a Bready kind of thing. It was cool. Came out real nice and soft. And I brushed it in garlic butter, and then dipped it in garlic butter, and it was delicious. It was very good.
Performance sports equipment for home security.
It was a single cup of flour, 1 cup of flour for that whole thing. It's really seriously. I will say, like, I started baking recently now, but making bread really easy, especially if you like bread. It's a good thing to do.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chicken Caesar wrap. Ooh. Yeah, I know we're talking about food. I'm not eating today again, so. It's
no.
It's hell. Not a fan of focaccia. Ryan, how do you feel about focaccia?
It's one of the best breads.
I agree. Thank you.
Oh, come on, buddy.
Yeah.
I think it's like, it might be the worst bread on earth for you.
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's just like, it's filled with so much oil.
Just a staggering amount of oil and like coarse salt. But I used to work at a place that was right next to an Italian bakery. And like when I would walk home from work, the smell of the focaccia was like incredible.
Dude, focaccia is so fucking good. It's also pretty ezy to make. I will say.
I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much just like.
No, dude, no.
Because unlike other breads, you don't really got to do too much shaping. You just do you poke your fingers in the squishy dough, and it actually feels pretty good and weird. But dude, focaccia is so good.
And I mean, as long as we're talking food, I gotta tell you. My wife ordered these, I've talked about it before, but we just got some more today. My wife ordered these Turkish bagels, also known as simit. And I made a controversial tweet that I stand by. And that is that I genuinely think simit is, for me, the best circular bread. There's a lot of circular breads, and somebody said, what about naan? And then I had to figure out for myself, how much do I want to get into the discussion, you know? Like, is naan circular? I would say that it's a good faith argument to say that it's circular, even though it does end up a little bit more elliptical. It has, like, irregular edges. I think it's more circular than non-circular. So as long as, like, I don't want to get into, like, is the hot dog a sandwich style argument, you know? I just want to tackle the argument in good faith, and tackling the argument in good faith here is, you know, to say, what's the best bread that looks like this? I'll take, and somebody, and they're not being rude, but I'm going to steel man you here, if you will. Somebody said, this sounds like the take from somebody who has never consumed a New York or Montreal style bagel. That is a bold suggestion to suggest that a Canadian eating Turkish bagels would never have consumed the two most popular bagel styles, one of which was, you know, from his country. I've eaten Turkish bagels, I've eaten New York bagels, I've eaten Montreal bagels. Of them, look, this is not just national pride. I've talked before about how I think, you know, a lot of Canadian cuisine is, I wouldn't say overrated, but we don't have that many hallmarks, you know? There's poutine, there's, you know, tourtière, And then there's Nanaimo bars, butter tarts, and pouring maple syrup onto snow. That's the extent of it. And okay, Montreal Bagels and Montreal smoked meat. But I'll tell you, I think that the Montreal Bagel is delicious. The New York Bagel is good, but it's my least favorite of the three, which I know is gonna... Hey, how dare you? Okay, can I get a chopped cheese, please? So I know what a chopped cheese is. Kind of. Let me get a cold cheese slice, Justin. What was I talking about? I'm telling you, I think I would put the samit up there. It's just something about... Because, like, there's actually, like, an objective counter-argument against the samit, which is for a large piece of bread, it's so much more whole than bread. You're not tasting air. So I think if you exclusively tackle it through a quantitative lens, you would actually find yourself very much disagreeing with me, and I could understand why. I think this is what we want here. However, in terms of the actual flavor, the seeds, oh, it's like crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. But unlike a bagel, you know, it's not so bready. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that every bite of the samit is kind of like elegant, you know? A bagel, you get the crust on the outside, it's good and crispy, right? Then you get, you know, to the bread part, and it's just kind of, there's a lot of bread in the middle. Not in the middle of the bagel, because depending on the lens that you're looking at through, that could just be the bagel hole. But like, you know, at some point you're like, you know, this bagel didn't have to be so tall. I'm chewing through so much bread. The samit maximizes the crust to bread ratio. Don't get me wrong, by the way, I love bread, but it maximizes the crust to bread ratio, so you're getting more of the crispiness per bite. I highly recommend it. Less food, more baby? Okay, look, I got no baby anecdotes, alright? If you're a cop, you gotta tell me. You got any of those baby anecdotes? I'm fresh out, dude. I told you, I don't have baby anecdotes anymore. I'm trying to get back on the straight and narrow. I'm trying to talk about food and Lord of the Rings. And hey, isn't it wild that, you know, out of the Lord of the Rings cast members, Elijah Wood sounds like, you know, he could actually not only be an actor, but also a character? I mean, does Elijah Wood, doesn't he sound like somebody that owns a tavern in Hobbiton?
Do you know, I saw a really good comment in a chat last night, and I can't stop thinking about it.
What was it?
It was, the comment was, you have a porno, excuse me, and then comma, I'm Italian. And that was it. That's all they said. It was really good. I liked it.
Oh.
Can't stop thinking about it.
You guys want to have a push-up competition?
An Italian porno.
You have a porno, excuse me, I'm Italian.
No. It's like a fine Italian. No.
Oh yes, I'll have the focaccia al porno, please.
Oh. I can't stop eating focaccia, mate. It's just good. Bread.
It's the best bread.
Dude. I put a marinated oily bell pepper on it with oil.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, $6. That's how you know it's good.
What do you marinate them in?
$6 New Zealand dollars though.
Yeah, it's only like
that's like 50 pence here or something.
Oh no, here we go.
Yeah,
we got four different currencies in the.
We got a
call
strong
right
ass currency over here, like one of the strongest.
Yeah, I don't get it. How can I do it? Teach me.
I don't know, man.
Can
Economics, baby. I don't know
Can
what
I just
to say to you.
I could convert all my money to your currency, and I'll have it good too.
You should. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, but how are you gonna buy things in New Zealand?
I don't know. Just go to the currency store.
You ever go to Upper Canada Village? You know, you're unearthing some great anecdotes. In 7th grade, we went to Upper Canada Village for a field trip. It's like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours away from where my school was. Upper Canada Village it's just a pioneer village. So everybody there lives or works as if it's still like the 1800s. So you'd go to like a mill or something like that. But I work at the grist mill. Wheat comes in through this chute, and then I turn this big gear, and flour comes out. And you're like, all right. Anyway, my parents gave me $10 to buy souvenirs, which was pretty pog. I went to the gift shop. I bought a loaf of bread, but it was good bread because it was like made in the pioneer style. And then I just, I ate like almost the whole loaf of bread on the bus back, but I didn't have like a knife or anything like that. So I just like ripped it up with my hands. But then what was left when I got home, this is how the mind of a child works. When we got home, I was like, oh, my family's gonna love this bread. So I just set it out on the dinner table, but it was like a rat had been in it because I just ripped off like all the crust and stuff like that to eat it on the bus. They were like, oh, thanks. I talked about that bread today. Look, I only had it the one time, and in some ways that's like the most magical, right? Like something, scarcity has a lot of value like that. In my head, that's like one of the best loaves of bread I've ever eaten. But I also, like, I didn't exactly have a very sophisticated palate as a 7th grader. I feel like working at a pioneer village, like maybe it's fun when you're older, but I think you definitely, like when little kids come to Upper Canada Village, I'm sure it's cool. When old enthusiasts come to Upper Canada Village, I'm sure sometimes it's cool, and sometimes you're like, you know, you gotta deal with like some retired professor being like, hey, did you use wrought iron when you made this? And then you're like, oh, yes, I did. And then they're like, well, wrought iron didn't exist in Canada until 1893, and yet Upper Canada Village is supposed to be 1861, so what is it? And you're just like, you know, come on, man, I'm just like I'm a Ryerson acting student just trying to like make ends meet in the summer. But teenagers and like older adolescents has got to be the worst age group, because we're in 7th grade. We're not taking it seriously at all. The whole time we were just like, you're not a, you know, a farmer. Like you're just the guy. You have an earring, man. Like I can't take this serious. I think for little kids, you know, the magic's kind of there. But also, little kids wouldn't care, right? As a child, you know, when you're like 8 years old, you're not like, whoa, wow, things were hard back then. I think you're like, you know, I hope this ends soon so I can go play my Game Boy. You piece. Dunk, dunk. Finish. That was the fastest corn we've ever had. Yeah, if they had an alien, if they took us to a village where everybody lived like it was a damn future, that would have been sick. Plug it. Get it. If they were like, in the future, everybody eats soylent for every meal, I'd be like, whoa, that's crazy. Oh, not Soylent Green, just